And in this moment, I swear, we are infinite.
Oh, I don't know if I ever showed you guys the PCB that we made. It's so cool to see something that you've designed and put so much effort into, and like to actually have it. Like, if people want to put that in perspective of how my other grades have been, I have been barely passing my midterms. As in, the panic is settling in, guys. So my next final is on Friday. It's currently Wednesday, and I am currently working through one of our problem sets. I have 4 of these to go through, and then I still have practice exams to go through, and I also still have about like 50 slides. Oh, I don't know if I ever showed you guys the PCB that we made. So they printed 5, so one of them actually is the one that like works and stuff that we're using. Look how nice this is, guys. It's so much smaller than my hand, and we designed it. I put the smiley face on there. My name is on here. It's literally like, it's so cool to see something that you've designed and put so much effort into, and like to actually have it. The other one is obviously like way more cool because that's like actually our child. Like, we soldered all the parts on it and like configured everything, and it works. So that's really, really exciting. And I feel like that also makes me more motivated in the whole grand scheme of things, because I was talking about this with my friend yesterday, that a lot of people lose sight of what you're actually studying for. So I always have to take a step back and remember, like, oh, like, I'm studying engineering because I want to be an engineer and I want to help people in the world. And I think having that like more big picture outlook on things also makes it so that you remember what you're working towards and you feel motivated to keep doing what you're doing, because the end goal will be like so worth it at the end. I came down to make a snack, not really make a snack, have a snack. Tangerines, they're so good, they're so sweet. And then I also just cooked some of these sugar cookies. But yeah, these are like the Easter ones, but they don't even look like, can you tell what that is? I've been taking breaks like every hour. It's getting kind of bad, but like, I know that if I don't take a break, it'll actually be counterproductive for me. I'll just keep going without actually like learning anything or like understanding whatever I'm doing. It'll just be like a brainless, mindless activity. Hello everybody, and welcome back to part 2 of this year's finals study vlog series. If you haven't already, definitely check out part 1 of this series. It's probably the previous video on my channel right now. This time I asked a bunch of you guys on my Instagram any questions that you had that you wanted me to answer in this study vlog, and somebody asked me how to know when's the perfect time to start studying for your exams. Personally, I think the best time is to start revising, or at least forming an exam schedule, a week before your first exam. But to be honest, I rarely can stick to this rule since I'm usually so busy with so many other things, but if you can, I think this works the best if you want really good results. Usually I do end up cramming, which is really bad. I also usually end up studying for each exam in between my exams, just because I don't like focusing on more than one thing at a time. But that's not to say you cannot be organized even when it's a very short period of time when you are cramming or studying for an exam. In part 1, I showed you guys how I organize my Notion for finals. And so typically, if I am going to be studying for an exam, whether it's 5 days ahead of time, 3 days, whatever it is, I break down how many chapters or lectures I still have to revise. And then I basically count backwards from the day the exam is on to whatever day that I'm starting to see how many I have to go through per day. I have about 30 more slides, I want to say, before I get to the end of the slideshow. There's like 500 slides in total, and I was about 100 and a bit more slides behind. But I'm slowly getting there, guys. So, and then I have to also start my problem sets. So I have number 7. Let's get on it, guys. I also wanted to talk about some of my tricks to stay focused during studying. I usually find that it's all about the mindset. So personally, I try to block all thoughts going on in my head, besides obviously whatever I'm studying, because normally I act really impulsively on my thoughts because I really want to procrastinate. So whatever I think of, I sort of force myself to do it right then and there. This usually has like rabbit hole results, so I usually just end up acting on my thoughts, watching whatever that wants to distract me, and then I just end up getting so off topic of whatever I'm supposed to be doing. What usually works for me, at least, is to listen to music to really quiet down those random thoughts in my head, and especially with my headphones on or some sort of like noise cancellation, it really quiets down like the random thoughts, and then it really helps me to focus on what I'm learning or studying. I also really want to say that during this period of time, it can get really overwhelming, and school can just get really, really stressful, not only during finals, but just in general. So this leads us right into the sponsored portion of this video, which is BetterHelp. Balancing school and life can be really overwhelming. Trust me, I've definitely been there too. Especially when dealing with personal obstacles and school at the same time, it can get really overwhelming and have a big impact on your physical and mental health. That's why I'm so happy to announce that BetterHelp is sponsoring this portion of the video. Personally, for me, I really struggled with balancing schoolwork, extracurriculars, and also just like having a social life in general when I was in first year engineering last year. I think I would have greatly appreciated talking to a therapist, especially during the thick of it, during midterm seasons or final seasons when it's really, really hard to balance everything at once. Dealing with it myself can be really challenging, especially when time is so limited just during school and university, so BetterHelp is a really great solution. Through BetterHelp, you can be in contact with a licensed therapist within 48 hours, and you can contact them however you want or whatever is most comfortable for you. So that's either virtually through a call or even just messaging like text. And the therapist will often be best matched to your needs. You can let BetterHelp connect you to a therapist by visiting this link, which will also be in my description box below, and you can enjoy a special discount during your first month of using BetterHelp. Thank you again to them for sponsoring this portion of the video. I just got an assignment back, guys. Hey! This is so, actually so good compared to the rest of my grades. If people want to put that in perspective of how my other grades have been, I have been barely passing my midterms. As in, they've been around 50s to 60%. So an 80 and above is literally, in my mind, basically a 100, guys. That's so good. This is I think one of my best courses because it's, first of all, a group project course. Second of all, I feel like it's a little bit easier because it's just presenting, doing hardware stuff, and writing reports. That's so easy, in my opinion, compared to writing tests. I am happy and I'm proud of my team. So I just finished lunch. I made myself a little lunch and I printed out a previous exam. I wanted to do the problem sets first, but I think I just genuinely won't have enough time to. So I'd rather just start doing exam type questions. I know it's going to be a huge jump and it'll be hard, but I don't know. I just need to start seeing the types of questions that I might get on the exam and practicing doing those. If you've been a longtime viewer of me, you'll know that I really stress taking breaks while studying. Otherwise, it's really easy to just lose motivation and get burnt out in the long run. And so somebody also asked, how many breaks do I usually take between study sessions? If you use the Pomodoro method, I recommend you stick to whatever works for you. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of that method. I usually study until I'm tired or when it's been 2 to 3 hours and I need to get up to stretch or walk. So for example, if I'm studying for a whole day, I usually take around 5 to 6 breaks, including lunch and dinner. And again, this is just a rough estimate. I normally don't film when I'm taking a break. Sometimes I take more breaks than I actually need to. A lot of the times I'm actually not as productive as I seem on camera. And so definitely just do whatever works the best for you. question that I got was if I get motivated by aesthetics. For example, having a cute desk just helps with productivity. In general, I would just say, I mean, you can see from my desk area, I guess, in this clip, I just have my desk how it's always sort of been. It's not necessarily because I want to decorate it so that I make my study area like more fun. I'm sure that's a part of it, but I also just like making my whole room very personalized. I think it's more so that I really cannot study when things are not very organized. So I know my desk kind of looks like a mess right now, but it's definitely like organized chaos. Like I sort of know where everything is and it's not messy to the point where I can't even see the desk. And so in order for me to be productive, I don't necessarily need like an aesthetic area to study. If it looks nice, obviously that's just like a benefit. I just need some place that's really organized and clean. Guys, I finished. Let's freaking go. I finished all the slides. How many slides is it, do you want to know? 415 slides. Literally, this is 56 pages in my notes. And I think within the last 3 or 4 days, I've done 20 to 30 pages of notes, which is insane. That took me so long. It's already 3:30. I need to go outside for a walk because I haven't gone outside in like a day. Like I didn't go outside all of yesterday because it was raining and windy. So I need to go outside and then I'll come back and try out one of these. So out on a walk. Kind of cloudy today. The sun came out for like a bit and then now it's like not sunny. But like look at all these nice trees that are blooming and flowers that are blooming. The panic is settling in, guys. I was trying to do a practice exam. Tell me why it's 5 questions and this fat. Each question has like 10 different parts. It's not even 5 questions. At this point, it's basically 50 questions. And they're hard. So hard that it took me like more than 2 hours to do this. Maybe close to 5, guys. Like, this is really difficult. And I just don't think I've done enough practice in general. So I'm even more worried for my next exam. So let's just hope that I can get enough to know enough of I'm scared. I don't know. We'll see. So now I'm just gonna answer some more rapid fire questions. So somebody asked, what are your career goals and plans for internships? I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, but my university program is a co-op specific program, which basically means that it's sort of like a mandatory co-op placement in your 3rd year of study if you choose to do a co-op. And then there's also an optional summer co-op that you can do in your 2nd year summer semester, which is what I'm going to be doing this summer. And so my general career plans are just to complete my co-ops, so the one this summer and then my 16-month one after my 3rd year, and then hopefully once I graduate I can find a full-time job, get my license, and become an engineer. Someone else also asked what's the male to female ratio in my classes. So I'm in electrical engineering, but it's like electrical and computer, which is usually known to have like a more unbalanced ratio, I want to say. It's sort of around 60-40, so 60 male and 40 female. I also never really got to film my result for this exam, so overall it actually wasn't too bad, I want to say, but it was still pretty long and kind of hard. Hello everybody, so I just finished my last exam. Crazy! I still have one more, but it's technically not an exam. It's a final presentation. It's still a final, but I think my exams are all way more because this last one is only worth 19% of my mark. So it doesn't really feel like an actual like final whatever, but today's also my birthday. Yay! Oh my gosh, guys, we're actually so close to 50,000, which is crazy. So if you haven't already and you're new here, please subscribe. It would actually mean the world if we hit 50K. That is actually crazy. I literally can't believe how many people have like joined along in this channel and just studying together, being motivated together. I love it. I will be doing like an internship slash like co-op sort of video later on, but it was really hard, I found, for me to like focus on studying. It was during midterms when like I had to like apply for all these jobs, do interviews, prep for all of that at the same time as like studying for midterms as well, and then also like balancing YouTube. I don't know if you guys want to see that as well, because I think that's also kind of interesting in case you guys are also interested in like starting your own channel, stuff like that, sort of like the amount of effort or work you have to put into it. But that's all to say. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love every single one of you guys. It's so amazing to see like how much the channel has grown and just how many people really enjoy these sorts of videos. But yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!